back in Anchorage, Alaska for the men's semifinals. Luis Moreno up against Charlie Shanks. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Anthony Celesto. Referee Emmett Pichotte going to make that announcement now.
Returning serve from Tucson, Arizona, Luis Moreno.
Clapping from the crowd, from the clouds too. Those in the, well,
And now he's gone.
He walks off the court.
That's typical Luis, who just is in his own world right
Serving
now.
Did he take
from Ireland, currently residing in New York City, currently ranked #1 in the world, Charlie Shanks.
Luis Moreno, who had that GoPro camera on, just quickly ran out and threw it off.
Yeah.
I think he did all the warm-up that he needed to do with that thing. Forgot it was on.
0-0.
Now taking this serious. Luis Moreno wearing that yellow jersey underneath his black WPH race gear. He said to me earlier when I asked him, why do you do that? And he said, Superman does the same thing.
Point.
That's one thing Luis is going to have to
judge?
do this game is keep the ball off the back wall.
Where's Abe? And
Because Charlie can
hold
be
on a
quite
second,
deadly.
guys. I got to get a line judge really quick. Sorry.
Luis Moreno may idolize Superman, but he looks like the Ninja Turtle in there.
You want a line judge?
Donatello, Raphael,
Who is it?
Michelangelo.
Wearing his
could you,
San
sit up
Diego,
there, please?
California
Thank you. And how about you? Yeah.
Army
Okay.
fatigue
Sorry about that, guys.
do-rag from Tucson, Arizona. Charlie Shanks from Armagh
1-0.
in his hometown Clan Erin, the club that he grew up playing at. Clan Erin, watching on the TV down there
Second
as
serve.
they play handball on this wonderful Saturday in Ireland. Charlie has a back wall setup, goes for that stiletto kill.
Set out.
For this match, Dave, Luis isn't able to gain any points if he wins. Am I correct? Or is
0-1.
he's playing just to stay at a steady 20-some points?
Well, you certainly go into every event to try to get as many points as you can, but he's not replacing
serve.
anything. He has to win this tournament to at least keep the points that he earned last year at this time.
1-1.
So he doesn't win anything, but he doesn't lose anything if he wins this tournament. Now, Charlie Shanks did not play in the tournament
2-1.
last year on this date, and therefore everything he earns to this point is a free point for him.
And yesterday he claimed the #1 rank pro in the world after defeating myself.
As he went into the semis, he was automatically assured to be #1 no matter what happened.
Second serve.
He's #1 in the race and #1 in the rankings. And Charlie just looks out of sorts here as Luis Moreno.
The power of Luis is going to give Charlie a little scuffle, I believe, right away.
3-1.
Until he can adjust to the hops that Luis throws.
Wow, there's another great serve, and Charlie already knows it was 2 bounces, and he just gave it to Luis. Wouldn't have mattered. Luis corner killed it. Luis's serves are really good here. We're going 15 points. Best 2 out of 3 to 15, win by 2, and that's another great serve. That one was a reverse. Charlie just kind of leaned to the right there.
We were talking about that yesterday when a server has great motion both sides and keeping the defender off balance. You never know what's going to happen, and Luis is very good at that. Having the same fluid motion going to the right and to the left. He comes over the ball extremely well.
6-1.
I thought that ball was short, no call from anybody. Look at Luis. Almost double bounces that ball before the back wall and gets another point. And Charlie's going to have to call a timeout here soon, Anthony.
He's feeling pretty good. Luis is feeling very well. And I agree to kill the momentum for Luis.
7-1.
Charlie needs to use a timeout.
You're just seeing a complete difference here between players, between Luis and Charlie at this moment. Now, we've seen Charlie get hot, but Luis is like a machine right now.
Similar to how he played in Ireland, if I'm correct. Everything was working in the finals against Paul Brady, and this seems to be the same way.
We're only going to 15 here, so Charlie's going to have to make his attack right now.
He's not going to be able to do that, though, David. Keep setting him up off the back wall. That's not going to work.
Flawless execution right now from Luis Moreno, 8-1.
8-1.
It's going to get to the point where Charlie just doesn't want to get embarrassed.
flooring everything.
Well, Luis is mad at himself. Charlie's mad at himself. We have two mad players.
9-1.
Luis made a mistake, and Charlie hit it right in the ground. Watch what Luis does here.
Luis has such great power and velocity on all of his shots, it seems like, even when he's off balance.
Boy, Luis is fast. He was screened behind Charlie. He knew that Charlie was going to go over to the left. He was looking over there, and then Charlie went to the right. Luis was screened for the majority of that shot, was able to quickly shuffle over and get that ball.
Check it.
Moreno is just torquing this ball right now. It doesn't pick it up so well on camera how hard Luis Moreno is hitting this ball.
That was one of Charlie's best serves right there, pushing Luis back and getting him out of the front court. That's one thing that could frustrate Charlie is Luis's get-ability in this match. And his ability, what he's able to do with it, like that.
Luis is just unbelievable. He's going to put on maybe one of the quickest first games we've ever seen.
Has it been 5 minutes?
11-1.
It's 5 minutes and about 15 seconds from now. There's another one of those two bouncers to the back wall. No timeouts, though, from Charlie Shanks. Kind of surprised.
12-1.
12-1. Charlie Shanks represents the Tucson Gunslingers. Luis Moreno representing the Idaho Spuds.
Oof.
And Luis just does a half motion corner kill. Everything's working right now. Luis has got a ton of confidence.
13-1.
Now, you remember the last time they played at the U.S. Open, Charlie made Luis look like he's never played handball before.
Quick 2 games, if I'm correct.
Has Luis even made a mistake yet?
I don't think so, Dave.
I mean, start off the game, Charlie got the first point, and since then, Luis has just been on fire. Down to one knee, gets another point there. Charlie just throws it up there with 2 bounces. Is he going to take a timeout? No, he walks toward the door, looks at it, just says, I'm going to mosey back
14-1.
Before the match, Charlie was warming up awfully early, and he was warming up already in the first game.
Wow.
First game.
Unbelievable. Luis Moreno goes in there in 5 minutes and 38 seconds. It takes down Charlie Shanks in the first game. We're going to have a long break here, I believe, as Luis Moreno is able to get us back onto broadcast schedule. But Luis playing just unbelievable handball, Anthony.
Great.
What are you seeing here? I got some players that came over to our booth during this and said this is the hardest hitting they've ever seen. And I know it doesn't translate much on this high definition screen, but we can hear it from here outside of our headphones, not the court.
Oh, go ahead.
You can feel it on this desk that we're.
Absolutely. And actually, when you were watching, you can just see the smoke coming off the ball. He's hitting it so hard. And we saw that even yesterday with his play. I mean, when he really puts his power into it, he's really just cracking the ball. And Charlie's a big power hitter as well, but Luis has just kept him so off balance, and you can see what the score was in quick 5-minute match. So
unbelievable how quick that went through. We will have game number 2 coming up in about a minute and a half. We're going to take a quick break. For Anthony Celesto, my name is Dave Vincent. Stay here at racefreight.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
All right, resuming play. Luis is serving the second game.
Charlie's going to have to find a way to get past Luis' serves here and return some of the serves.
Well, he's just going to have to try to get Luis out of the server's box. We are back for game number 2.
0-0.
This is the Race for 8 semifinals.
Charlie doesn't seem to be as flush on his back walls. There you go, spoke
Side
too
out.
soon. I like when people prove me wrong.
Well, it happens a lot.
Valid.
0-0.
Let's see if Charlie can get a rhythm here in the service box.
Short. Second serve.
Should be a back wall setup for Charlie. And you see, wow, beautiful soft hands by Luis there. Ball coming 56 miles an hour, and Luis just touching it back to the front wall.
0-0.
Oh.
I saw it good.
Did you see that hop?
I
That
saw
ball
it
hopped
good.
4 feet to the left.
Both disagree.
Wow.
Short ball.
That ball is called short. Luis's
Second
second serve is deadly, so watch this. He goes really hard into that side wall and just eats you up.
So much power on that second
Well, you don't
serve.
have anything you can do with it other than, look at that ball just slide down the side wall. Back wall slide as well. But you can't do anything with it. You can just try to power it back into a roundhouse where Luis usually steps in and tries to fly.
1-0.
Fly kill it. That's one thing I noticed even
Short.
yesterday. Luis's front game is very impressive.
Second serve.
Here's that hard second serve again.
And some rare hand airs here from Luis Moreno. Charlie Shanks now serving for just the 3rd time this match. We told the
0-1.
viewers that we'd have a 15-minute break between one game to the next. We started exactly at 14 minutes and 50 seconds after I made that announcement. And then Luis Moreno, within 4.5 minutes, went in and took down Shanks in game number 1, 15-1. And Luis almost slips and falls, and now he just flips the ball up there, and Charlie makes him pay, and Charlie gets his first point here in the second game. So we apologize to the viewers who probably thought that they were going to come back in 15 minutes and watch. If you came back in 20 minutes, the game was over.
Quick 5-minute match.
It was actually probably quicker than that. We had a text message of someone said it was only 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but I think that's exaggerating just a little bit.
1-1. Short.
Beautiful. Ooh.
No, that was short. The scoreboard should say
Second
1-1.
serve.
Moreno is serving, that's correct. Shanks wearing the red, Moreno wearing the black. Moreno goes to that fish shot as if he needs to hit the ball harder.
Both players hitting the ball extremely hard here. Ooh. See Luis a little off balance there on returning Charlie's hop.
It's really dangerous when Luis steps into this court
1-1.
and has that type of first game.
Well, you know what? Charlie's going to have
Short.
to redeem himself taking over that number 1 spot yesterday. And here, that first game, it was a 3-minute and 50
Second serve.
second match, possibly. But he's going to have to do something different here to keep it going.
Well, yesterday in the round of 16, I played Luis
Point.
in the round of 16 here.
And you did quite
And
well.
I was up 17-16. And
2-1.
actually thinking that I just need a couple good serves here and I might get into his head.
Do you
Felt very good physically. And Luis Moreno got into the server's box and hit 6 straight aces that were unreturnable.
Timeout.
took the breath
5
right
of
out
them
of you.
were cracks.
Okay, go for it. That's fine.
5 were cracked serves
No,
out of
he's
those
just
6.
got to tie his shoe. And he's got to sit down on the doorstep.
Nice commentary from our ref.
Referee
He's just
say
gotta
he's going to
tie
take a
his shoe.
timeout. He's going to sit down on the doorstep, which means you're not going to be able to go out of this court during this timeout, Charlie. Charlie just smiles.
Was it a timeout even?
It really isn't
Equipment.
a timeout, but
Just equipment.
it's equipment timeout. Emmett knows the rules since he's tied his shoes more than anybody in the history of those that tie shoes.
Wow. Do you have a video camera on his shoes all the time, or how do you know that, Dave?
Well, because I've diagnosed Emmett with a syndrome.
What's called the tying shoes syndrome. Correct?
No, it's not. It's
Oh,
not what it's called.
Okay. Well, you know they do make Velcro shoes to avoid the shoelaces.
All right, resuming play. After that shoe tying. 3, 1.
Samantha England is another person who has that same shoe
That out.
tying syndrome.
Such a tough shot there from Luis.
1, 3.
Beautiful left corner re-kill.
2, 3.
Possibly a screen on the serve there. Wow. Nice dig by Charlie. Maybe Charlie's feeling a little pressure.
3, 3.
Together at threes.
Well, this is more of the Charlie we thought would show up in the first game. Beautiful. Just a little change of pace there from Luis Moreno. Gets that 4th point. Charlie
4,
Shanks
3.
came up to me and said that the future pro Petro Shanks and his father Peter have tuned into this live broadcast. Pedro he's a red-headed left-hander. Charlie told me that just won the finals of the
3, 4.
He's actually through to the finals of the Ulster primary school competition for the 11 and unders, and he's already an amazing handball player, and he's watching from Ireland. Luis trying to get out of the way.
That's the problem with these guys hitting the ball so fast. It's tough to get out of the way if it's coming right back at you.
Luis Moreno
3,
trying to
4.
get out of the way. Got the referee to say, referee's trying to earn a SAG card here on this live broadcast. Luis turning that ball over, getting the side out.
Four, 3.
I like that.
Great.
Look at that serve. That's one of those reverses, Anthony.
Looks like he's going down the right and brings it back left. He's very good at that.
It's just unreturnable.
5, 3.
You could probably return it.
I can't.
Oh.
On that ball hits Charlie, and the crowd likes that. Charlie's playing really close. I was just going to mention how close to the dotted line, and Luis makes him pay by saying, you want to play like that, I'm going to come in with this hard breaker. Now watch Charlie back down from that
6,
dotted line here
3.
to protect. Look how close Charlie is up front.
And we talked about that. I talked with one of the greats, Danny Bell, last tournament. And he said if there was one thing that he gave me as a pointer was to play back, to start back on the serve as a defender so you're not crowded. But as you see, Charlie likes to play forward.
3,
but he starts to
6.
creep back on his serve if you slowly watch his feet.
Luis just pulls that ball right back down that side wall. We saw Nadia Operato do that for many years. Luis Moreno just does it so casually that Charlie really just can't catch up to it, and it wasn't a hard hit ball. It was just a mediocre 75%er from Luis, but he puts a little break on it.
That's what
6,
throws him off is the
3.
break.
Now,
Slowing
in
the game.
2009, Dave Chapman defeated Luis Moreno on this court in the semifinals, and he did it by hitting ceiling balls right here. This is where Luis had the problem. Dave Chapman kept Luis in single digits with just hitting balls down that left wall. And Luis just puts that ball into the corner with the left hand, kills it flat, and gets a round of applause from the crowd here.
Wonderful crowd in the audience right now.
Oh, this is
Stands
the best.
are packed.
This is the best stop of
7,
the season
3.
right now. 7-3. Very
Absolutely.
energetic.
And the hospitality and everything. Oh, look at that ace serve by Luis catching that left crack.
Luis Moreno's just looking so good right now.
He'll be tough
8,
to beat if he
3.
keeps this up.
Well, he's feeling confident, so that means he's going to throw out all these different serves he's been working on. And there's a little contact.
Yeah, you held up one split second. I agree.
Not
he
only did
couldn't
he
get his
hold up, there was
backswing.
contact there.
Luis
Eight,
with no argument,
three.
so there probably
Luis is
was
going to go to the right here. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're okay.
There it is, down to the right side.
You know his game well. Little hop. He just has 2 whips. And he can get anything.
Yeah, but he overhit that ball, and he hit it so hard.
Sometimes that can be a problem, though. But we were talking about earlier, he can change the speed of the speed of the ball, just like that. Charlie going back to the ceiling game to slow it down a little bit.
See how Luis gets himself back into position.
Great feet.
See what Charlie does here. He has Luis pinned.
Nice right pass. Big applause from the audience.
Well, they enjoy what they're watching here in Anchorage.
Even some random bystanders are stopping in to watch this great match.
3-8.
I don't know how random it is. I paid them $50 bills out on the street.
Oh, okay. Just found some random folks on the street and, hey, come watch handball.
Hand selected, actually. Ooh. Nice little left-handed kill again from Luis Moreno. We've seen that same Luis Moreno hit balls into the ground when he's not focused, but when he is focused, it seems like he's enjoying hitting those kill shots. Look at, he's not even breathing hard here, Anthony.
No, but when you get in such a comfortable state of mind, like you were saying, he's just so relaxed. Your body, you just feel like you're untouchable, and obviously that's the way he's feeling. That's the way he's feeling right now. But before the match, I was talking with Andy Nett, and he was taking videos, shooting pictures of the players of the match before, not really even getting himself, from what we saw, mentally ready for the match. But obviously it really didn't matter, and Charlie was warming up, running on the treadmill, doing his stretches and this and that. So everyone has their own little pre-game rituals, but obviously Luis.
Unbelievable. Luis gets fooled on that shot, switches his feet really quick, and then just powers the ball right past Charlie, as if
8-3.
that's what he had planned the whole time.
Charlie just seems to be a little off balance today.
I will guarantee Charlie will take a timeout if Luis scores
9-3.
an ace right here.
Down the left.
Oh, look at that ball.
Hop 4 feet.
Unbelievable.
No,
Charlie wants an avoidable
No.
here. Luis, I think, thought the ball was going to stay straight, so he backed into the middle of the court, but it wrapped around.
9-3.
That ball just hooked 4 feet. What is Luis supposed to do? Anticipate his hook?
Second serve.
Nobody on the planet knows that ball's going to jump like that.
Such a great serve. Ooh.
Three, 9.
This is what Charlie's going to have to do here.
Slow the game down?
Absolutely.
Change something up.
Short ball, no?
It looked like it. Maybe we might get an appeal serve if Charlie wins this.
And then you don't see any appeal from Luis. I'm so surprised here.
Maybe it wasn't short though. It looked like
4,
it from here.
9.
See Luis just kind of lackadaisically being back there and waiting for his shot.
There's a screen, no call.
Both players. Oh, and he held up.
And Charlie's going to stay up there because he's...
I just thought you wanted it. You stepped up. You stepped into it.
I don't understand how a referee says that. When a guy actually
like you wanted it,
physically
you had
puts
a
his hands
setup
up,
and a
how
pass
can he
shot.
say you think somebody wants the ball?
You know what?
He
that's
obviously
happened a
didn't
lot,
want it.
though. No, not at all. And you saw that
I
he
agree with
even
that.
kind of half.
No, he threw his hands up.
Yeah,
How
and
could
then
you
there's
say
some
I
room,
think you want it when you
Luis.
have your hands up?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
It's a terrible call from the referee.
9-4.
Should be a.
Well, I thought
Dollar
you wanted
fine.
it. Really? When I threw my hands
Oh,
up in
look
the
at
air, you
that.
thought that I wanted that? I mean, we've been taught forever that when you take your hands up, it's
Oh, there's
to
another
say it's a
screen.
That's
See?
avoidable.
I know, but you had the setup and you rolled it out.
It's an avoidable. Charlie is right. Emmett's just going to keep his mouth shut.
4-9.
And not say anything.
Charlie rolled it out, but it was an avoidable hinder, and Charlie knew it too.
He's crossing the face of the.
This might fire Charlie up a little bit.
Ooh. You see the grimace on Charlie's face. He knows he needs to make those crucial ones when he has the opportunity to.
9-4.
Great serve by Luis. Over the top, hook into the wall. Unreal.
Well, he has really soft hands if you're
10-4.
wanting to learn how to hook the ball. Loosen up those wrists because that's what Luis does. There has to be a timeout from Charlie eventually here.
He didn't even use one last game, did he?
11-4.
Against Paul Brady at the U.S. Open, he used timeouts wisely, but here he's just not using them at all.
That deep pass by Luis.
Now you see Charlie slipping on the court here.
Just such power by both individuals. You can see what it does, though, to a player. It can frustrate a player, and obviously you're seeing that with Shanks. Luis just keep hitting it in power and power and power. That ball's going to do some funny things when there's that much power on the ball.
12-4.
Oh, there you go. Did you just see that? Cut his legs in half on that serve.
Now, Anthony, you're in the booth here, but I swear I thought you were playing Dave Fink, but it looks like Fink will be playing Andy Nett.
13-4.
He will be playing the Dreamboat. Andy's pretty pumped up for this match. He needs to win a playoff match, he said when I talked to him earlier today. I think he's what? I think his last win in the playoff was down in Arizona.
It's been a long time.
Possible match point right here. And then a nice re-kill by Charlie.
Okay. That is your first.
Luis Moreno taking a timeout. This time he's leaving the court, and you see Charlie have some words a little bit with the referee. Luis Moreno and some of the new blood players, Anthony, like to just leave the court, and right before they exit, they look back and say timeout, as opposed to calling the time and then leaving the court. I talked to Sean Lenning about this, and he said, well, think about it. If I say timeout now, the referee starts the clock, and I have to walk over to the door, open it up. Sometimes I fiddle with the doorknob. I take my gloves off, open up the door. I've lost 15 seconds. I get to where my bag is through this group of people, and I've already down to 30.
Right.
I need to get a drink of water. So,
you have 10 seconds left.
Yeah, by the time I come back, the referee's calling, trying to get me back into the court. He said, it's just, I just go to the door, open it up, make sure I at least get the fair chance to get out of this court.
That's a smart way of doing it, though. Personally, I don't like to take timeouts, but that's a great way of thinking about it because you're limited with your time, like you said. Then you got 5 seconds, 10 seconds left to get back in the court and really regroup yourself when you want to really utilize that whole minute. So
I said to Sean, why don't you just put your bag right next to the door like the rest of us do and just not walk through the crowd?
It's too much work, I think.
And he said, that's not the point. And I said, it is now the point. It's my counterpoint to your argument about walking through the crowd. I mean, I guess I can go put my bag out in the car and then complain about having to wait through
traffic
and through the snow. Well, yeah, I parked it at Home Depot across the street.
I think that's your ride at the Dairy Queen, Dave.
Resuming play. 4-14.
Right. Well, I was fabricating that part of the story. Luis Moreno just so casual over here. Just hand against the back wall. No big deal.
Relaxed.
See what Charlie does here.
He needs to start playing
Watch what Luis does on this back wall setup. Tried to go down and get a 1-inch high kill shot. Took a little too much off, though. If you're going to go down there and put your foot on the knee and on the ground there, you might want to hit the ball harder.
5-14.
That's not a controlled shot.
Not at all. When he's moving through the ball, you see how much more power he has.
That's short.
I called it short.
It was.
Short.
One agrees.
I don't know how both people wouldn't agree on that.
Second serve.
Unless another player didn't see it. Sometimes you just don't see it as a line judge there on the left side.
Tough shot. Nice re-get by Charlie Shanks there.
Charlie drug his glove on the ground as he flipped that ball back up now. Serving at 6-14. If you are going to beat Luis Moreno, you're going to do it on this serve. Or at least some modified soft serve because it takes him out of his power.
But you see, Dave, he has so much power even from at the hips. He doesn't need to be in
But
great
Charlie
position.
was still in a spot where you could have just flipped it to the front wall and got another point. Luis Moreno's weakness is that soft serve.
Oh, geez.
Wow. That's one way to close out the match. And now Luis Moreno's in the finals, defeating Charlie Shanks 15-1, 15-6 here in the second game. And that is payback for what happened at the U.S. Open as Luis Moreno takes down the stiletto. Charlie Shanks here. Want to give a shout out to Peter Shanks and his son Petro, who is the 11 and under Ulster School finalist in Ireland. Watching Charlie Shanks unfortunately only score 7 points total here in his semifinal bid, but Charlie did do something great in this tournament. He took over the #1 ranking in the race standings as well as the power ranking, so he at least can go home with that, and also a nice little paycheck. But for Luis Moreno, it's the return to the race for 8, and it's been a while since we've actually seen some wins. Now, 5 out of 7 events last year, Luis won, and now this year, it's the first time we've seen him back into the finals in this race season. So,
and he's looking for it, and he absolutely, if he's playing like this, it's going to be a tough match for Sean, because I think Sean had a rough match with Nadi, taking it going tiebreaker, kind of wore him out, and you see Luis, 15-minute match total, you know, and just dismantled the #1 ranked pro. So if Luis can continue this, it's going to be a tough match for Sean, and we'll just have to see and let the game play out.
Coming up next, it's going to be David Fink versus Andy Nett, and that'll be for a 5th place, I believe, semifinals. And there is some significant values there as well for those that are, you know, watching at home wondering why we would put a 5th place match on the live broadcast. These playoff matches and the points will allow a person to get into Seattle in the Players' Championship, much like the Sprint Car Cup Series or the Nextel Cup or the FedEx Cup. These players are all vying for points, and it's important to those players individually. As you know yourself, you're trying to get invited to Seattle. You're trying to get that automatic invite to Denver, Colorado, and you're chasing those points. How important is it to get as many points as you can? We found out last year Chip Morales was only like a fraction of a 1.5 points away from being invited to Seattle, but he took one tournament off, and all he had to do was get into the quarterfinals, and he would have been an automatic invite. It comes down to one tournament and some of your play, whether or not you take some of these playoffs serious.
Oh, absolutely. These playoffs are huge, and we've discussed this in many other tournaments. Each game, you know, can make or break an individual, and with the points being this close in the race, these matches are just essential for one individual to win. So it's going to be a fun match for both ends of the spectrum, both semifinals of the playoffs. So we'll see.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a bit. Dave Fink versus Andy Nett coming up next for Anthony Celesto, Linda Manning, and Jason Rutherford. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back here at racefor8.com. Stick with us.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
It's Timothy Green's first day at school.
What's in there? He's about to fall over.
Anything he might need. There's a box of tissues on the bottom and some Band-Aids. There's a whole first aid kit, actually.
Mom, I can handle it from here.
You don't have to be perfect.
Have a great day.
That's too much pressure.
Have the day you have.
To be a perfect parent.
There are 2 people in the world who want you more than anything. They'll make some mistakes, but they will love you more than you can ever imagine.
There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.